Idioms. Take 2. Figurative language includes simile, comparisons using like or as, metaphor, comparisons that don't use like or as, personification, that's when you give human qualities to something that isn't human, idioms, and this is another book on idioms. Now, remember our little guy who thought his body was going to blow apart? This one's called Even More Parts, again by Ted Arnold. Let's see what happens this time. Even more parts. Idioms from head to toe. Sorry. Sometimes I wish my stupid ears weren't always open wide. They hear such strange and crazy talk, I'm scared to go outside. I lost my head. Just means you weren't really paying much attention. It makes my head spin. I laughed my head off. My head is in the clouds. Means you weren't thinking very clearly and you did something dumb. I keep changing my mind. Look, he's changing his brains. It just means that you choose something and then decide you like something else. I keep an open mind. He opened his skull. My mind is wandering. Sometimes your minds wander during school. Do you think they're really wandering away like this on little feet? I lost my marbles. Means you went a little crazy. Not that you spilled your marbles in the floor. Here's a teacher one. I want all eyes on me. That would be gross. I cried my eyes out. Look, his little eyeballs are rolling away. I have eyes in the back of my head. Do you think that's literal? Nope. There's not actually eyes back there. It just means we know what you're doing all the time. My eyes were glued to the television. Or in your case, to your game. It means you couldn't take your eyes off of it. My ears are burning. People say that when people are talking about them. Feel like their ears are burning when someone else is talking about them. Not that your ears are actually on fire. I'll give you an earful. That means that you're going to tell them a lot of stuff. Hey, I'm all ears. That just means I'm listening. My nose is running. Is it really running away? No, you got boogers and you need to blow it. Her nose is buried in a book. Really? No, just means she's been reading a lot. Keep your nose out of other people's business. Doesn't really mean that literally. It means mind your own business. I'm tongue-tied. When you trip over your words a little and get mixed up in what you're saying, people will say you're tongue-tied. It doesn't mean your tongue's tied in knots. Don't give me any of your lip. Look, he's handing him his lip. That doesn't mean that. It just means don't smart mouth me. Probably heard your parents say that. I zipped my lips. Really? No, just meant to be quiet. My lips are sealed. Doesn't mean you put glue all over your face. It means you're not going to tell a secret. I have a frog in my throat. Really? No, your throat's just a little scratchy. We all know what these mean. We've heard these idioms all of our lives. I sang my heart out. Look, his heart spit out. It just means he sang beautifully and really, really hard and did his best. My stomach is growling. Not like a real dog, it's just making noise because you're hungry. And we talked about this one. Please lend me a hand. It's like the bank. And she's borrowing hands. It cost me an arm and a leg. Look at the cash register. It's got a bunch of feet, toes, and hands in it. When someone says something cost an arm and a leg, they just mean it was really expensive. Not that you actually paid with arms and legs. It made my skin crawl. Look, his skin's crawling away. No, look, he's scratching on the chalkboard. That usually bothers people a lot. I got all bent out of shape. Just means you got upset about something someone was doing. I put my foot in my mouth. That's disgusting. Just means you said something you weren't supposed to say and you ended up getting embarrassed by it. I'd better toe the line. That means you better follow the rules. Not put toes on a line. I went to pieces. Figurative language are words that do not mean exactly what the words say. There are so many crazy things I have to keep in mind. I sure don't want to accidentally leave my parts behind. Mom says, dear, it's time for school. Let's go or you'll be late. Then Dad says, just remember, son, keep your head on straight. Hope you enjoyed the idioms.